Man, we welcome you back to the Fact of the Matter Sunday Evening Talk here on Jam 93.5 and, of course, Jam 360. We thank you for staying with us as we are obligated in providing you information of purpose. This is what we do here on a Sunday. It's now that time of evening to welcome Mr. Miguel Melbourne. Forgive me for messing up his name just now. I was in another world. Just getting back, huh? But it's that time of evening when we bring on very conscious conversation that these with our young people, a platform that we provide here on a Sunday. Welcome, Miguel. Even Miguel.
Hello, hello, hello. Ira, good evening to you, Erwin, and Ira, good evening to our distinguished listeners wherever in the world you're tuning in from. We thank you. My name is Miguel Anthony Melbourne. Now, this week on Melbourne Motivation, I'm excited to reconnect with a young man I think is a shining example of the ambition, courage, and brilliance in our Jamaican youth. Let me tell you a little bit more. Jahmel Brown is currently a master's student in the International Public and Development Management program at the University of the West Indies. As a first-generation college student and graduate, he also holds a bachelor's degree in public policy and management with a minor in international relations. Jahmel credits the pursuit of education as a mechanism that has elevated and pushed him beyond circumstances. He has a passion for service and has taken advantage of opportunities to get involved locally, regionally, and internationally. A few of his current youth leadership roles include being a UNESCO Youth Researcher, a National Youth Parliamentarian for Jamaica, and Caribbean Youth Fellow for the International Republican Institute based in the United States. Jahmel notes his motto in life is ambition before pride, which means no matter the circumstances, he will put aside his pride and simply focus on being the best person he can be. With that, I'd love to welcome Mr. Jahmel Brown to Melbourne Motivation. Jahmel, how are you doing?
I am happy to be here today, happy to come back full circle in the moment, because I would have been here and been here in second year on this amazing international radio station, sharing my story as a youth in the Caribbean and as one who is coming from an unfortunate situation, and that is kind of struggling, but someone who is persistent to overcome those struggles. And I'm here today to share on a momentous occasion that I've recently got the honor of experiencing as a graduate of the University of the West Indies. My graduation was recently held on Friday in the evening. And that was an amazing milestone for me as a university student nonetheless. So
absolutely. I mean, Jahmel, you're absolutely right. I believe it was April of 2021 is when we had the pleasure of first having a conversation. And truthfully, I want you to know that one of my main motivation in having this conversation again today is to truly celebrate you, right? And to celebration of all your efforts, perseverance. We know that it's not been an easy journey. What does it mean to you, Jahmel, being a first generation graduate?
what it means to me is that it's not solely being the first, but also paving a way for others. Because in my community and also in my family, I have never seen someone who went beyond 10th grade or 11th grade, because I would have been the first to go on to sixth form and also to university, but I would not assume I'm the first in my community, even though I've never seen anybody to my knowledge, because that's a wide area. So I would not really assume that. But in my family, in my core family, perhaps I'm in my core family, I'm the first. And also in my extended family, I have always heard of persons going to university, but I have never seen that to be a reality. So it was a momentous occasion for me to graduate recently and to be the first in my family to do so, because I've never seen it before. And to me, that's a great thing, because I'm paving the way for others to see it and also believe that they can do it as well. Because I would have loved to see that when I was growing up, that I can be more than my struggling environment or be more than my circumstances, because it's very hard to be more as a youth in our society, where crime is prevalent, where so many things is happening within our society. And to want more and to be more is very hard as a youth when you're coming from a very hard circumstances that cannot really facilitate that as a youth and as a university student.
Absolutely. And Jamel, let me take this moment to absolutely say, on behalf of Melbourne Motivation, the Irie Jam family, I'm sure the entire diaspora tuning in right now, just a massive congratulations to you. I imagine, your first day at university may have given you the impression of there being a long road ahead, and I'm sure it was littered with uncertainty. But now you do have your bachelor's degree in hand and you're getting started on your master's. And what I'd love for you to do, Jamel, just like a moment of reflection, right, on your college journey and knowing what you know now, what kind of brief advice would you give to your younger self?
I will give my younger self three advice. First, to be prepared for anything, because the COVID pandemic has been a lot for me as a university student, and as a first generation university student to go into the university space, because I didn't have any laptop. I didn't have any resources that could facilitate me as a university student. So it was very hard. I was cut off from the library where I could go and do all nighters. So to be prepared for anything, it was very hard for me as a university student to move from face-to-face schooling to online schooling. That was very complicated and more requiring me to have a stable internet, to having a stable environment that I was not really used to as a university student to begin with. And also, I would tell myself to to be ready, to be patient and kind, because on this journey
Mm.
I've experienced so much struggles. I experienced a mountain of struggles that almost broke me as a person and as a university student, because I could recall in my second semester, I went through a major depression because I've been using my phone for 2 years to do mostly schoolwork, and mostly going to classes, and that has been that has brought on strains of anxiety, of nervousness onto me as a youth. So I would tell myself to be patient and kind in that moment, and also to reflect. I would also tell myself to know that you're going to get through this. You're going to come out on
Ah,
top. You're going to graduate as a first in your family. You're going to get that degree. You're going to also recall at the moment that you were going through financial constraints, but at the same time, you got numerous scholarships, financial assistance, and aids that helped you to be debt free right now, so you can continue on this
there we
new
go.
journey as a master's student, and to continue breaking barriers into society and also paving the way for others, because it's not about
Ah,
me, it's not just about my journey, but to also help others on this journey to become more. So
absolutely. Jamel, this is a privileged conversation, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same sentiment. Continue to keep up the work that you're doing, and your graduation is a confirmation that you absolutely can and will accomplish what you put your mind to. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. You know what I wanted to ask you next, Jamel. You're onto your master's degree, right? Can you just give us a quick sense of like what you're focusing on right now, and what are some of the goals that you're pursuing next?
a major goal that I'm pursuing right now is more on my master's degree. I would really want to get my master's degree so I can become more in life, where I can use that master's degree to impact other persons. Because my main goal, as to why I did my degree into public policy and also with a minor in international relations, was mainly to help persons using policy as a tool, mostly focusing on the educational area, where I could focus on creating or adjusting educational policies that can help persons into society, give them a chance, like a real fighting chance, because so many persons are being affected by so many things in society. For starters, the education system sometimes don't provide certain resources that we would have needed. And I'm not just blaming the education system because there are so many factors at play, but sometimes
Mhm.
we find ourselves working with little to no resources, and create a policy that can upscale on certain resources to give persons a fighting chance, because we have seen where the education system has been working, giving persons resources, but these resources need to be upscaled to the point of helping persons to fully materialize on their goals and their future as a whether a university student or a high school student or somebody who is not really educational. Because I feel like we should not only focus on education, we should also create a pathway for persons who don't really fall in that educational space that persons really relate to, but persons who are creative or persons who might fall into different spaces, I believe that they need something else. So that is my goal. That is why
Absolutely.
I need this master's degree to also accompanying.
Hmm.
This is why I need this master's degree to also complement my degree and also my
Absolutely.
diploma to help persons in society, to give persons
Absolutely.
a voice.
Jahmel, just hearing you speak, very inspired by this conversation. You being someone who's, on that journey of having lack of resources, finding ways to persevere, your voice is of critical importance in adding to the conversation in how can we make the education system work better. So just thank you so much. Jahmel, quickly as we wrap up, I want you to give me three people that you know are very proud of you and have been on this journey with you. Just name quick three people that you want to just give a quick shout out.
I would first say I have many mentors over the years, but this main mentor has been really impactful to me as a youth. I would say Sabrine Saeed. She was recently a university student last year that would have graduated with first class honors. She has impacted me in a major way. I would also say to my first year lecturer. I would not say the name per se, but she would know who I'm talking about. My first year lecturer who gave me a vision on this journey, who impacted me in a way that I have never seen before, who gave me a
Right.
voice and um also pushed me and motivated me as a youth, and also to my
You
family,
did.
friends, and persons who have supported me on this journey. I say thank you to all of you
All
and
right.
wish you the best.
Absolutely. Jamel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jamel, as we wrap, just quickly tell our listeners where they can follow you. How can they follow you and continue to keep up with the Jahmel Brown movement?
So you can follow me at Jamel Brown, J A, all lowercase, at Instagram, and also Jamel Brown on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. We will leave it there. Jamel, we will continue to keep up with you on your journey. Love your passion, love the perseverance that you are showing, and we look forward, to just hearing more about the great things that you're doing. Erwin.
Congratulations, Jamel, and wish you all the best. I remembered when we did the first interview, and to see now that it has come to fruition. This is great work, Miguel, and just continue to keep on. And best wishes in your next level of studies. Miguel, how do we maintain a contact with you on?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, my personal and professional goals are to help the youth be best prepared for college, career, and beyond. I want you to visit My College Pod. That's mycollegepod.com to gain access to Path to the Purpose, latest college and career prep innovation. But go ahead, follow Melbourne Motivation on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Until next time, please be safe and live with big energy. Erwin, catch you next week.
All the best. That's, of course, Miguel Melbourne providing us with one of our guests some 3 years ago.